Hello?
We choose to go to the moon in this decade and do the other things, not because they are easy, but because they are hard.
Hello?
Because that goal will serve to organize and measure the best.
Hello?
Because that challenge is one that we're willing to accept, one we are unwilling to postpone, and one we intend to win.
What's up, guys?
What is up, man? Thank you all for having me on. This is going to be interesting.
It's a beautiful freaking day. Beautiful.
We got some rain here in Austin today, which we much needed. We had a nice storm roll through.
You had a storm come through? John, you're muted.
Look at you! I turned into the IT man. Y'all didn't hear me say good morning then? Shit.
No.
We have a saying in Texas. I don't know if you got them down there, but it's called we say you got out Whataburgered, meaning I out Whataburgered the shit out of you guys, man. I did way better on my background than y'all did.
Look at the thing. What do you call that thing around the edge? That looks pretty good.
It's a cock ring, isn't it?
Oh, this stuff back here? Or this one?
No?
I don't think he caught that.
No.
This?
Oh, I thought that was like a picture, dude.
This
it was like, yes, I thought it was like some kind of cool little border image or something.
I was close.
It's cool, but I'll tell you what I love about it most. Don't look like a pecker. And that right there made my day if it wasn't already made.
Let me see. Is it a new one? Move it over.
I'm still in Tampa, and this is a podcast.
Okay. Got it. You need to have them hook up your room like that. A little purple light.
Going to. Yeah. No, I've been taking notes. That was my thought on this whole process was, this week has cost me about what a car is. Not a car that I drive, but
I was just gonna say that, dude. Stupid. Because I'm like, bro, you didn't spend $300,000 this week or whatever, $150,000.
No, not a car I drive. But I was like, even if the content isn't what I hope it'll be, I know I'll get that amount of money worth of knowledge out of this. And by the way, I haven't seen the final product. Well, holy shit! Just in knowledge, tenfold my investment. These guys
share it.
Yeah. So Raw Media is who I use. Be ready to write a big check and know that you'll make your money back in knowledge.
What'd you learn?
Well, the first thing I learned is to get a purple light behind me. Don't say so. Have a point.
That sets the mood, right?
Yeah. Just man, it's the little things, right? It's like, if you're going to make a list of all the things you do right, well, that's a big list and worthless. So let's just work on the list of things that you suck about. Right? And the problem with that is you don't know what you don't know, and I don't know what I suck at. All I know is that it's not good enough.
Well, right? The backdrop is fly.
The backdrop is fly, almost as fly as the front drop. I've been in the Florida sun for a week. I'm extra handsome. I'm extra charming.
Personality's up a notch this week too. I like it. It's exciting.
All right. So let me throw a couple things that I've learned this week at you. Okay. Number one, I learned that I need a full-time IT guy. I am very 2015 and I need to be 2024, right? So I started looking for IT people and I couldn't find one that speaks English. And while I don't care what language you speak, you got to be able to speak English because I don't know how to communicate to you. So I've been doing these interviews on Zoom and they've been driving me crazy. So I called my best friend. We've been friends since 1981. He lived next door to me when I was in kindergarten, right? And when we were little kids, he would tear apart the Atari and put it back together and make it look like a modern PlayStation. This guy is the best. I mean, he's the best computer guy I've ever met and probably the best on the planet. He also is a nerd, like to the highest level. So having a conversation with him is interesting. And so I've always loved having this guy standing next to me since we were kids. Like I remember when we had AOL and I'm living in Albuquerque and I got to call him and go, bro, how do I make it where my girlfriend can't see that I was looking at porn? And he would walk me through the steps on how to make it go away. Right. And then he would finish it with, you need a better girlfriend that doesn't care. So anyway, so I call him today. This morning I go, Chris White, here's what I need, brother. I need to hire an IT guy, but I'm too stupid to know what to even ask him. Here's the things I need done. Can you help me figure that out? And he's like, well, do you want like an expert like me or do you want an entry level guy? And I go, well, an expert like you, that's $500,000-$600,000 a year. I don't want that. I would love that. I want that, but I can't have that. And an entry level guy, he don't know what the hell he's talking about. So I need someone smarter than me and dumber than you. And he's like, well, my son Bradley, and I was there the day Bradley was born. He goes, he graduates in 3 weeks from all of his certifications. And I go, hang on a second, Chris White. You're telling me I can hire an entry level dude and get you? Like, because he's just going to be on the phone with his dad all day. W's. I'm going to give him cancel the Indeed. No more interviews with women who will hate me with all of their heart. Yeah, so that's one of my W's right there.
I got a W myself and went and played some cards last night. And
damn, you got a stack, bro.
Managed to win a little bit.
Show that a little closer.
How many of those did you walk in there with,
though? A lot less.
Nice.
So,
how many ones are in there?
None actually.
My man.
They don't take ones at the poker table. Man. You leave those to the dealer.
Yeah, I hear you.
Nice, bro.
I love it. I always see the chips on your social, and I'm like,
yeah.
I wonder how he does. Is that local?
I do all right. Yeah, it's a local game.
Y'all can gamble local.
So it's a small room here in Austin, but the action's real heavy. Players are pretty soft, but they're real loose. So money just flows, and then you just got to pick your spots. So
nice.
I've been playing a little more.
Did you say? Was it poker? I didn't hear it.
You got to pick your spots.
No, what game?
Your money in. Oh, poker.
Poker.
Yeah,
cool,
Texas Hold'em.
Yeah,
we play a game called Hold'em with bomb pots. So once a round, there's a bomb pot that is ridiculous.
What's that?
A lot of action. We play.
I like Hold'em.
Instead of getting 2 cards, you get 4 cards, like in Omaha. But then they run 2 boards, 2 full boards, flop, turn, river, flop, turn, river. So there's a ton of opportunities to make hands. You might win the whole pot. You might chop it with someone. You might only win a quarter of the pot if you're splitting part of it.
You have to win both hands?
If
both?
You want to.
Or
you don't have
just
to,
the
but
best
you want
all
to.
around.
Yeah.
The best overall of everything. Interesting.
Yeah. So
that's going to be wild.
And
I've never seen that.
Does happen where you scoop. I actually scooped both boards in one hand last night. But usually if you're winning it, usually you're winning the top or the bottom board and somebody else is winning the top or the bottom board.
Got it. So they play separate.
Right.
Makes sense.
It's a fun game, though.
I can't play poker. I only like gambling on myself. I only want to play games that I know I can win.
That's why I play poker.
I'm not that bright. Mike, I won't play Candyland or Uno because I'm like, that's just luck. No. Like there's a chance that a 3-year-old will beat me. No. And there's no way in hell I'd play poker with you, Tony.
That's probably good advice.
Yeah. That's why I don't play poker. Right. Well done, dude.
Oh, thank you.
I like it.
Thank you.
I like
That's
it.
a good idea.
I was
I got that done. I came out here. I filmed insane amounts of content that I'm really happy with, and I got my IT guy, and I get to fly home tonight and sleep in the same bed as my smoking hot redhead. It's good.
You're on a roll.
Yeah. Oh, also this week, I have two very good friends that I care deeply about that had gotten sideways, and I had the very scary opportunity to not negotiate, but coach both sides prior to their meeting which is difficult because you're like, how do I handle this without giving away information this way? I can't give away information this way. All I can do is try to shove positive energy in both directions and remind both of them that both the other person is absolutely an amazing human.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah. And I thought that meeting was going to last 20 minutes and end in slamming doors, and it lasted like 8 hours. So win for them, win for my friendships with both of them, and insanely stressful not being in that room. So loved it.
Yeah. Excellent.
Yeah. What about you, John? What you got going on, bro?
Dude, so we've had a cool week. You know, Maddox plays a lot of sports, and he's been wore out this week and tired, and he cried a little while because he had to like go from football to baseball, and he was just stressed over stuff. And so Steph sends me a message this morning, a voice memo. I almost want to play it, but I don't know if y'all will hear it. And he was driving to school, and he was talking about a test he had at school. And he goes, well, I got a 77 on the test, so I was upset. But they give them a chance to get extra credit in the classroom if they work as a group and do some things. And Steph goes, how'd you get the extra credit? He goes, I go to the table with all the smart kids. I'm getting my extra credit every time.
That's why I'm on this podcast with you guys.
Smart kid.
I was like, my man. I was excited. He's getting in the room already, dude.
So he plays baseball and football?
And golf right now. He's in all three at the same time. Yeah. So
is he familiar with who Bo Jackson is?
Yeah, it's his number, dude. He wears 34 in all his sports.
Let's go.
Yeah. That's my email and my socials all typically have 34 in it.
Okay.
And when I had a mortgage company, this is funny. You know, I was in the mortgage business for a hot minute.
Yep.
I'm sure you've heard me talk about it. The name of it was Auburn Mortgage because I liked Bo Jackson and I couldn't come up with a creative name. So I'm like, I'm gonna name it after that school he went to. The downside is I was in Georgia and everyone hated it. I was like, damn, I'm not.
Here's
if that worked out or not.
Here's a trivia question for you. What famous athletes across 3 different sports that were all the top of their sport in Houston all wore number 34?
Interesting.
They're the 3 greatest athletes of every primary sport.
Really?
In Houston, Hall of Famers, and they all wore number 34.
Damn.
Let's see if y'all are any good
Rockets, 34. Was Olajuwon 34?
Hakeem, somebody even put that in the chat. There's one.
Would it the other Astro? I don't know baseball. I don't know who that would be if it's a baseball guy. We think football. Did Texans ever have anyone good? Is it Texans, right? That's who's there. Who's there? Houston Oilers. Oilers. All right. That's that running back. Damn, what's his name? Ooh, I know who you mean. I'm right there. I'm on the right track, aren't I? It was in that baby blue era. Yep.
With Bum Phillips.
Golly, someone knows it. I know.
Yeah. Facebook user down there knows it.
I can't. Yeah. Who's Facebook user?
I don't know. Somebody.
I'm gonna be mad when they say it. I don't know the third one for sure though.
Nolan Ryan.
Oh, no way.
Wore 34 for the Astros.
Didn't think of that.
And Earl the Pearl Campbell was the running back you're thinking of who wore number 34.
On the right track. Well,
a buddy of mine has all 3 jerseys signed and framed in a beautiful piece in his bar. Looks awesome. I have 2 of the jerseys, but they ain't signed yet.
Love it.
On your kid, man, isn't like the thing that you want to teach your kids the most, the hardest thing to teach your kids? I think the hardest thing to teach your kids, and the one thing you want to teach them the most, is to be like uber picky about who they hang out with.
Mm-hmm.
But because nobody is, virtually no one, right?
Yeah.
And so, and you can't, how do you teach your kids that whenever they meet someone in kindergarten and they're stuck with them for the next 13 years? It's like, I want to hang out with Lyle. I don't want to hang out with Ding Dong, but Lyle won't stop hanging out with Ding Dong. So now I got to hang out with Ding Dong all the damn time. Well, that's cool. Your kids are already learning that, man.
Yeah. Maddox is funny about it. He'll just tell his friends no. He'd be like, nah, dude, I'm good. I ain't going there. I don't want to sleep over there. No, you can't come over. He's just straight with people. It's funny. He's really direct. He'll be 12 in like 3 weeks. The 28th of this month. Yeah. So he don't care. Like he was at that age, the kids like really pick on each other for all kinds of stuff.
Sure.
And
when do they grow out of that?
Huh?
Do they grow out of that?
Probably not. We do it. I think we're doing it every time we're on this podcast.
I think we're just at a place where we pick on ourselves now, mostly.
Yeah.
I thought that's what y'all brought me on the show for, was y'all were going to pick on me for an hour.
We are. We got to shoot the shit first, though.
That's fine. I'm good with that. I'm good with that.
Steph is talking to Maddox's friends in the parking lot the other day at football, and they were wearing him out about something. And they're making fun of him, whatever. And one of the moms of the other kids was like, "Don't pick on Maddox. That's mean." And the little boy goes, "We love Maddox. We can pick on him all we want, and he doesn't care what we say."
That's a good pal right there.
Yeah. Anyway.
Nice.
What are we going over today? What do you want to do?
What you want to do, Tim?
I thought y'all were going to, I don't know. Y'all tell me. This is the first time we've done this. You might want to inform your viewers what we're trying to do here. Basically a coaching hour, so to speak, with Mavericks, right? That's the title of the show, Building with Mavericks.
I like your pillow, John.
Yeah, I make lots of them. I do this, and then I kind of like lean like this too. I'm kind of a leaner, and I feel like sitting like this is kind of, I don't know. So I don't know. But I like my pillow too. It's a nice, fluffy, just water bottle. Just hang out. Watch Tony.
I didn't mean to interrupt you, T.
No, you're good. You're good.
You know, what's funny is we offered to go through people's business stuff and give feedback a couple weeks ago. First one, we were like, it sounds cool. And Perry and I kind of argued over it. Not argued, but we discussed it. And like, do we really want to do it? And like, it's like, Perry was like, I forget how he said it, so I won't say his words. I'll let him say it. But his answer was like, I don't really want to do it. It's kind of sounds stupid. And we've talked about it a little bit back and forth. And then, funny enough, we threw it out there, and Tony was literally the only one who was like, I'll do it.
Yeah. I mean,
the first piece of advice,
I'm not an idiot.
And this is important. You need a cooler background.
Me?
For podcasting. I recommend a purple light.
Yes, sir. I'll get on that.
Yeah, and a cool microphone.
I'll get some Prince paraphernalia in the background to go with it.
Hey, Perry.
Yeah.
So Steph just texted me like right now. She goes, ironically, and she put in quotes, healthy insurance dude is vaping.
Yeah. Oh, listen. I am the definition of irony and hypocrisy. I've never been addicted to anything in my life. And I kind of like that I am, because now I like understand it. I love beer, but I don't remember the last time I even finished a glass. I probably haven't been drunk. I haven't been drunk in probably 15 years.
I checked out on beer. I'm out. No more beer. I quit drinking beer at the end of July.
I love that Plaza Azul, or however it's pronounced, that tequila.
That is delicious stuff.
Yeah, like when you first hear it's $150 or $200 a bottle, you're like, why the hell would anybody do that? And then you have a drink and you go, all right.
That's why.
Have you tried Casamigos at all? It's not as high dollar as Casa Azul, but man, their reposado is really tasty.
All right, I'm down.
Like super tasty, real kind of smoky, real smooth. Love it.
Now my
Beer's
wife,
like a waste of time.
my wife,
that's where I've gotten to, and well, it makes me fat. So
That
I'm
too.
down. I was at 210. I was right about 210 at the end of July, plus or minus a couple, and now I'm at about 186, 187.
Already?
Yeah.
Quick. Huh? Good for you,
And
dude.
yeah, no beer, no white foods.
Easy.
no
Not that
white
hard.
food. Oh,
No
like
white
bread.
foods.
He means
Yeah,
like no Chef
potatoes, no white
Boyardee.
rice.
And,
Limited or no pasta, no white bread.
What is that? Chicken nuggets, man? I don't know. So you're sticking with like collard greens? That's it.
Yeah, white food is the devil.
oh, Lord.
All right. I'll
Let's
take
Yeah.
get to work then.
it. Well, good.
All right.
For you.
So we're gonna go through Tony's
food.
world and give some feedback. I think
A lot of
I'm
Mexican
intrigued
food.
by what you're doing, dude. I know you're. When we talked last, you were growing a lot. You were bringing on a lot of agents to sell product, but I'm intrigued to kind of know where you're at business wise, just in general. And I wouldn't hate to hear how it is relative to maybe a year ago or 6 months ago.
Sure.
That's a good point to start.
Yeah, absolutely. Obviously, we're focused on the Medicare space. I have a firm belief in long obedience in one direction, right?
I like that. I'm a fan.
So we're a Medicare shop. That's pretty much all we do, with the ancillary products that come into it. And we focus on the Hispanic space. So we are marketing specifically to Spanish speaking folks.
Hence the no white people food.
Yeah. That's
Yeah,
part of it.
Listen, when you go in, you're all in. You're a method
Absolutely.
actor. I like it. Muy bien.
Nothing. But so let's say we started off this year, to give an example, with basically 3 agents. About a month into me coming full time after cashing out at Precision, we bumped it up to about 13 agents. Still only about 3 that we're producing. Now we're up to about 55 agents. A lot of that is due to a new product rollout that I got a hold of, because I run a hybrid shop. We have an LOA model, and then we have an external distribution model, right? Because of my wholesale experience and the contract levels that I have, I can work with just about anybody, from individual agent up to some of the larger agencies, MGAs, and even FMOs that are out there. So I do some product distribution as well, and that's where my agent base has grown. So I've grown my external agent base by about 500% this year. And our production over last year is currently at about 150, 160% over last year. So we're probably due. And it's weird in the Medicare space, because in most cases, you don't necessarily count premium, because a lot of the plans that we're enrolling are 0 premium. So most Medicare agents are just counting app count. We'll probably do about 700 apps total between our LOA and our external distribution. And the goal is 1,000. And then my goal is to finish it by the end of this year. We're on pace. We're on pace to do about 700, but I think we can probably do 1,000 with this new product
for the year
and a few other things we have going on. Yeah,
that's cumulative for the year.
Correct.
Got it. I don't know all your lingo.
So your LOA model, are you doing base plus commission? You're just doing hourly?
Currently, I'm running it on a 50-50, 1099 commission structure. So it still allows you to basically work as a self-employed individual, hustle on your own, own your business, and get renewals after a vesting period. That's where I'm currently at. And that might adjust over time, but that's where I'm sitting at right now.
I don't know anything about Medicare. Do you need to be a salesperson to do that? Or are you just an order taker?
Some products, 100%. Some products just order taker, so to speak. And a lot of that obviously depends on marketing, right? I mean, even if you're selling premium, if the marketing is solid enough, then you're going to be an order taker either way. But no, there are definitely products that you got to get in there and sell. In most cases, like for the Medicare Advantage plans where there is no premium, just because it looks free doesn't necessarily mean there's not some sales acumen involved. I mean, you got to work to get the people on the phone. You got to prove trust. You got to get them to know, like, and trust you, and then close the enrollment. And then you come back and try to sell them more product. And that's where the extra sales comes in. And that is an area that we need to improve on, is our cross marketing.
Are you, are those salespeople, are they creating their own leads? Is that just all inbound calls? You're creating the leads and they're calling them? You're
Correct.
creating the leads and call it. And you're
that
doing
group
that.
gets everything. They get all the CRMs, phone system, quoting tools, enrollment platforms, and all the leads. All they technically have to do is show up, pick up the phone, read that script, make money.
So you have 50. You currently have 50 agents, or
I have 55 in my total distribution. My LOA model, we've only got 2 or 3 actually right now.
Okay.
In total.
And so the LOA
one
model,
of those is a non-producer that's I don't think she's ever going to do anything.
And the
but then my
LOA
external
model,
distribution, we got about 50 agents.
And those people are just regular agents.
Yeah, they're regular. They're running their own game. You know, I have an agency that I work with in Georgia that's got about 20 agents. I've got a small agency in Arkansas with about 5 agents. They're not in-house. These are guys doing their own thing. I'm just getting a little cheddar off their sale as an override.
1,000 doesn't seem like very many.
It's not. It's truly not. I mean, it's good compared to where we came from. We're only, I mean, Avila, this is our 4th year that we're rolling into as of August 1st of this year. So we just started our 4th. So we completed 3 years August 1st, and we're going into our 3rd year. And most of the time it has been a one-man shop, which is my wife running the show.
Do it.
And then she's done such a phenomenal job. Like, she's killing it. I mean, it's amazing to see the growth in her from a business and sales aspect, and how she's learning the business, works her ass off. Like, she's usually the first one in the office, last one to leave kind of thing. Works Saturdays. Like, she works her ass off. So when I saw how well she was doing and how serious she was taking this, like, it wasn't just a side hustle to go get some purse money and go hang out with her friends and go shopping or whatever. Like, she was like, no. I can affect change for my family back in Colombia, which she's doing. She has 3 of her family members now work for her as VAs. Those 3 are making more money than they probably ever made in Colombia.
And you're going after Hispanic Medicare.
Correct. Which is truthfully still a blue ocean, 100%.
Yeah, for sure. Which seems like marketing for it should be cheap.
Marketing for it is super cheap. That's an area that we're kicking ass in right now. So we're doing all of our marketing basically through, not all of it, but most of it, 90% of it, I would say, through Facebook, learning from Perry with video ads, going into Messenger with automations. We just dropped a good chunk of change with the company to help us improve those automations, because I'm not an automation engineer and it's not what I should be doing anyway. So I finally bit that bullet, found someone that I could trust, because everywhere I was looking, I was finding guys on Fiverr or even on Upwork, and they're all in India or Pakistan, and they say they're bilingual, because I have to have someone that's bilingual to do any of the work for me, because they got to understand the messaging that's going back and forth. And those guys aren't, they're like, I'm bilingual. My name is Bob Johnson. I'm bilingual. No, you're not. You're Google Translate bilingual. Let's be honest. And that's not going to cover it. Right. So I found a group in Costa Rica, a bilingual team that knows insurance already. So they're helping me rebuild some of my funnels inside of Go High Level to improve them and improve my distribution. The main problem that we've been having in there is just getting, because we have an influx of leads coming in through Facebook, but is to get them through that funnel process properly, kick out the non-qualifiers so we're not spending time with them, and just push through the people that are worth time. So I was losing, just because I'm not really good at engineering that stuff, I was losing some of the people in areas of the funnel where all of a sudden 90 people would be hung up at this one step. And I was too dumb to figure out how to make Go High Level go re-engage them. So I had to make my VA manually do it and try to get them back into the funnel and get them moving along. And then we didn't have the proper disqualification questions in there. All that's been fixed. It's rolling out this week, as a matter of fact. So I'm super excited. But yeah, we're generating leads, doing basically Perry's method, video ads, like Grace is all over. You've probably seen her content. She puts out tons of content. We're generating leads right now through Facebook for basically, the price is down. Like, we were spending about $4.30 a lead, which is nuts. And then it got down to about $3.50. Right now it's at an average of $2.80.
That's free.
That's damn near free. And they are low intent, but the volume is coming in at such a pace. And that's not even with it tuned up. Like, I had to turn the daily budget down on Facebook to slow it down a little bit so that we can try to meet the need.
That's nowhere near mine.
So I don't know how much longer that's going to last, but I'm going to run it in the ground until it does. And then other than that, we do events, and we're for AAP this year, we're doing a bunch of radio ads. We got a newspaper ad and a few other things. Currently, marketing is not our shortcoming, so to speak, right? We're pretty good at that part. We just need to improve some of the distribution there.
leads, you need people who know what the hell they're doing, but
And
also they're going through what's your show rate on that?
On the leads, it's low. It's super low because they're super low intent. So we probably get about 10 a day, to give you an example. And it's long term because these are all people that are turning 65. So some of them I might be talking to, and they're only 64 years old. So they're still a year away from even getting into Medicare. So we're just trying to get them into our funnel so we can nurture them. And then a year later, they may become our client.
You do 10 leads a day, or
we're receiving about 10 new ones every day.
Why are you only doing that? I mean, if it's $4,
that's about all the capacity we can keep up with, because we still have a shit ton of data and leads that we're already working and continue to come in. And those aren't, I mean, we also get inbound calls here and there, right? From people that are seeing our YouTube content or people that are seeing our Facebook content. We have old leads from all the direct mail stuff that we've done, people in our database. So, I mean, I'd be happy to do more leads, but we don't have the capacity yet to meet the need of more leads, if that makes sense. I'd be burning money.
No, I don't. I don't understand that. 10 leads a day, 50 people. What is it you don't have?
I don't have enough people to work those leads.
Do you get the leads only go to LOA people?
Correct. Yeah, currently. Now, if I get some overflow, I got a couple of other external agents that I might ship some off to help them grow their business.
Why don't you offer the other side to buy leads? Or work out something, a split, or just work something out and crank up the volume.
Well, one of the issues there is not all my external distribution speaks Spanish.
Got it.
So that would be one issue, but I do have 2 new Spanish-speaking agents that I'm onboarding now. So I've already kind of thought in that process, but I was thinking of just giving them to them just to help them. But you're right, I probably should sell them to them.
Yeah, for fucking sure. And then you should take all that money and dump it back into leads. I assume you speak Spanish perfectly?
No.
So how the fuck are you training them?
I only hire if they're internal, they have to be bilingual. That way I can speak to you and Grace can speak to you. Period. Got to be bilingual. We already tried with one Hispanic only girl, Spanish speaking only girl. And she's, and I don't think it was her language barrier that prevented her from succeeding. I think it was ultimately her desire. But the fact that she only speaks Spanish and really can't read or speak English very well, she was on an uphill battle, because even though she's speaking to a Spanish speaking client, all of her interfaces for every platform is all in English. So all of her certifications are pretty much all in English. So she had an uphill battle. So, and I was leery about it, but we did it anyway.
My problem's always been like getting a Spanish speaking person is they sound beautiful on this pitch. And it just sounds like noise to me.
Right.
And like at the end of the day, in my experience, the difference between a close and not a close is tiny little nuances.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you have any Spanish speaking salespeople that are phenomenal?
Grace. 100%. Now, when I say I don't speak Spanish, I'm not fluent in Spanish. Sure. I understand enough of it. I can listen to the conversation and be like, what the hell
can't do the nuances.
There? I think some of the nuances, like tonality and some of the words, some of the cadence, it's hard for me to pick up. Is that just because Spanish is, to me, I always think she's speaking too fast. But there's so many syllables. Like, to give an example, and this is something I've struggled with when it comes to marketing message in Spanish language. English is so much easier to say something in a short amount of words than Spanish is. For example, you can run an ad campaign in English that says "got milk," but if you're going to run that same campaign in Spanish, it's "tienes leche de la vaca." Like, it just doesn't work because it takes more words and more syllables to say something. So that's been a struggle in writing copy. Now ChatGPT is killing that for us because ChatGPT speaks Spanish fluently. But yeah, there's a lot of things I can pick up in coaching, but yeah, there are some things that I'm going to miss. So
I think you're missing the most important thing.
What's that?
That's the problem. You don't know.
That I don't know.
You don't
if
know
that salesperson's missing something or not.
Yeah. You don't know what that nuance is. So like with my daughter, right? And I know this doesn't solve a problem, but at least it identifies a problem. My daughter, when she first started, couldn't sell. But that's because she always speaks like a valley girl. And every time she's talking, it always ends up way up here. And then no matter if you want to buy health insurance or if you want to buy life insurance, And so I know to go, listen, sweetheart, watch this. And and as she would speak, I would take a dry erase marker and draw on a board. I'm like, see where your voice is doing that, goofy. Your voice needs to come and this way. And she would just practice that. The day she fixed that nuance, that's when she just exploded that exact day. So it's like, how do you create a great sales force? You either need, correct me if you disagree, you either need a great small sales force or you need a half-ass giant sales force.
Which I don't want.
Sounds like a pain in the ass.
I'd rather have 4 quarters than 100 pennies.
Yeah. The way Derek, my business partner, calls it the Sopranos office. You want 5 bad sons of bitches in an office above a strip club making millions.
There you go.
That's the best way to run your life, right? But you're never going to have I don't know how you can ever have that unless you can find a solid coach. And you can't be that coach because you don't know and so when I say it's just what you're missing is the smallest thing. The problem is it's a different smallest thing for every single person.
Yep.
I don't know how the hell you're ever going to.
What? Well, I'm sure I can find and vet a good sales coach that can talk to my agents, listen in on some of their calls. I mean, we record a lot of our calls, so I can give that guy the calls and be like, here, chop those up, come back and coach my agents.
Pay $30,000 for it. Because getting 1,000 from now in basically a free product, and you're the only person in that market, man, you should be doing that every other week.
Yeah. I
mean, if this is let's say you're selling free Obamacare and you have a good lead source and you can afford that LOA, I mean, you should be doing 100 a day. It's free Obamacare. You got to you need a good lead source. It sounds like you got that.
Yeah.
And you need talent, and of course you would need the funding to get it off the ground.
Yeah.
But, and again, I don't know anything about Medicare. It seems hard as hell to convince people who don't
a longer sales process than Obamacare. Like if I can generate inbound Obamacare leads and I can close them on the fly,
right?
Medicare's there's
difficult,
and especially for the space that I'm going after, because I'm specifically going after the people that are brand new to Medicare, and I'm generally marketing to them 6 to even 9 months before they even turn 65. So I'm talking to them 9 months before they can even become my client, and I can make money on it because I got to get ahead of the other agents. I got to give them a pipeline. Right. So we're constantly nurturing leads. So that's why I said in some cases, we can't meet the capacity of more than 10 new leads right now from a LOA force, because they're still nurturing and cultivating and dealing with leads that are 6-9 months old. They're moving through their pipeline at a high pace. So like if you look at Grace's calendar, like it's not short on appointments.
I would do exactly what. Go ahead, John. You were about to say something. I'm sorry.
No. I have a good question, but go ahead. Finish your thought.
I based off of my tiny limited amount of knowledge, I would say crank that shit up. Either sell the leads to the people, or if they're not good enough, if they're too cold, then don't sell them. Give them to your other side and take 30%, and just get those people so freaking busy. Welcome. Here's 400 numbers today. Welcome. Here's 400, and then take that 30%, dump it back into marketing.
Yep. And then here's one of the other issues that goes in with that. And this is why I spent money improving the funnel, because these leads are coming in through Facebook and Messenger. We don't capture their phone number or their email address until they can get through somewhere in that funnel where they're either filling out a form or they're setting the appointment and putting that info in there, or a VA or us is engaging with them and capturing that phone number. Right. Because all they're doing is clicking Messenger. And most of the time, there's limited info that Facebook is dumping into that lead when it gets pushed into Go High Level. It's usually just their Facebook handle. Occasionally it's got a phone number. Occasionally it's got a city and state. Occasionally it has an email. But I would say 1 out of every 5 maybe has some extra data, but most of them are just, here's my Facebook handle, I'm interested. So that was part of the problem we realized in that funnel, was like, hey, we're not capturing enough great data to make these people supercharged right now. So how do we improve that funnel?
Would you rather pay $4 a lead, or would you rather pay $100 for a really high quality lead?
I would rather pay $100 for a super high quality lead, Now, and Alex Sala asked a question here, Tony, are you doing any high intent on Facebook? We went, and this is the process we went through. So we started marketing on Facebook with video ads. Once we figured out the video ads were the way to go, it didn't take us too long to figure that out. But first we were sending them to a landing page that we built. In my opinion, lights out landing page, but for whatever reason, it was not converting. We had a lot of click-through rate from our video ad to the landing page, but it wasn't converting. So I'm like, all right, fuck the landing page. We jumped to a Facebook Insta form, and Facebook's they've grown leaps and bounds in how customizable, as I'm sure you guys know, that you can do their Insta form now. So we were sending them to Insta form. They would fill it out. A lot of times Facebook is snap filling that out for them. So I had a double confirmation like, hey, are you sure that you really want to send all this information to those people? And they would hit submit. Those were running us about 50 to 55 bucks a pop. It's still great leads. I'm getting all their data. It's still that's an awesome price for a Medicare lead, especially a T65, because I'm going to make $650 to $800 off that person first year, not to mention renewals. So I'm happy. I was super happy with it. But again, we weren't getting the volume. At that point, we weren't getting the volume that we needed.
So we don't sell Medicaid. We don't sell life insurance. We don't sell health insurance. We sell trust, right?
Yeah.
That's what we sell. The videos you're using right now, I'm assuming you just hired a company to have an actor.
No.
Who's doing it?
Grace holds her phone up.
Okay. Here's what I would tell you to do, man. I say you drop a bunch of money. You fly Grace out here. You put her with not my guy, the guy. Have her spend a week here making incredible content in Spanish. Punch that shit out. Make people trust her. And then stop trying to spend $4 a lead. And, typically in English, you're looking at $150 for a high quality lead. In my world, where I have way more competition than you do. In Spanish, with no competition, you should be back down to 50. If the content's great, maybe lower than that. And that's where I would spend my investment. And then if you want, Tony, I'd be happy to go through your chatbot with you and see if we can hone it down some. I've been doing this a long time.
Yeah.
Do that.
I'd be happy with that. Like once we get it launched, it should be launched this week. He's putting on some final touches, but we walk through it. It looks kick ass, but yeah, we still need improvements always. And it'll always be an evolving piece, right? Like you're not just going to create the funnel and be like, there it is. It's awesome. Like you're always going to have to go in there and remanipulate it, add stuff, take out stuff, whatever.
There's a way of making it. And maybe this is what you're already doing. And this is what we're currently working on, is that chatbot. You can get rid of the chatbot, do it all by hand, humans, right? And do it for 3 months by hand. And that chatbot learns. And then all of a sudden, what's your wife's name?
Grace.
I'm sorry. And then 3 months in, Grace lets go of the steering wheel, and that chatbot is Grace, and they shouldn't be able to. They'll think they're talking to Grace.
I like that idea. We plugged ChatGPT into it, and it was doing okay. Like it started setting appointments pretty fast.
Sure.
And I had a good FAQ set up to kind of help model it and shape it or whatever it's called, not prompt, but however you got to define your AI bot inside of Go High Level for ChatGPT. Right. So I had all that set up really well. She was doing okay. But it was creating problems because some of the questions that people would ask, it would give them a completely fucked up answer.
Yeah,
like
and
the question is supposed to be, when do you turn 65? And they would say October, and the chatbot would reply, "Oh, sorry, we don't have any appointments available in October."
Right. That's always been my problem. Is back to we sell trust.
Right.
And the second someone knows they're in a bot, they're gone. It's gone. Yeah. Right. Now, it doesn't matter if you got that lead for free. It's the only people the people that you want are already gone.
Yeah. So I have another campaign that I'm testing right now that's using Facebook's automated if-then statements. I don't know if you've seen their upgrade.
Yeah.
I can't imagine that it's going to work well, but
I mean,
because I like to find out if shit works or not, like I'm still going to test it out.
What's the difference in that and having somebody fill out a form?
Well, it nurtures through the comment. I got to get disqualified people out. That's my biggest issue on those Facebook ads is because it's on Facebook, because it's in Spanish, I'm getting a lot of immigrants that are here, but they're still not even legal residents, or they haven't paid their taxes long enough to qualify for Medicare. Now that makes them an ACA client, which is fine. I kick them over to my ACF funnel instead.
Good.
But that's one of the issues. So I don't want my agents sitting there talking to non-qualified prospects. That's a waste of their time. So I'm trying to get that chat sequence set where it finds out, hey, number one, are you a legal resident? Yes. Cool. Have you paid taxes for at least 10 years in America to earn Medicare? Cool. Yes. Boom. So you're in my Medicare pipeline.
So you could probably have it where it does that.
Yep.
Gets rid of that, right? Eliminates those people real quickly. And then if they answer the questions right, then the chat bot walks in after that. Is that what you were planning on doing?
Yes, that's part. Not fully, but that's a part of what we're doing. So the way I have my Facebook ads popping,
you need the best chat bot.
Yeah.
Whatever the hell that means. I don't even know what it means. I mean,
well, if there's a chat bot that learns from the human that's interfacing, that's much more intriguing.
There is. But you would need to build that infrastructure, obviously.
Sure.
I mean, meaning you'd have to build the first infrastructure is building the human having that conversation.
Yeah. Is that through MiniChat?
I'll get it to you.
Okay.
I'm not an expert yet. I will be in a week and a half.
Yeah. Yeah, we started the show with how bad you are at IT, I remember.
So that was one of the reasons that was one of the many reasons that I wanted to come out here to Tampa, not just to learn that, but Danilo is a genius. I mean, he's a lunatic genius. And if you can just sit back and listen to the guy, that he is a genius. And you can get all kinds of cool stuff from him. So I don't know that
I got questions for you, Tony.
Go.
Your projected 1,000 apps. How many of those are Grace versus LOA versus that outside distribution? Roughly.
I would say probably about 400 of those this year will be Graces.
Mm-hmm. Nice. And how many of the 3 LOA?
Not much more, because one of them, it doesn't look like she's going to produce, and the other one again doesn't write much either. So
essentially zero. So the other half of your business,
maybe 50 to 100 apps will get in those other agents.
The other half of the volumes that outside. I assume there's more money on the LOA and Grace, right?
100%.
Like significantly more.
Significantly more.
How many of those? No, go ahead.
I was just going to say the external distribution for me, the way I look at it,
small slice.
It's free cheddar though.
Yeah.
It's free cheddar to put on the top line and help me
minus your time
invest,
to bring them on. Which I know a lot of it's probably relationships you got. Yeah. I mean, I know you're good there. What? How many of those suckers, those leads, does she have to work to sell one? Roughly, you think? And how long?
A lot. And my sample size is just about big enough that I need to go back and really hammer down those metrics, because we've been running that for about 6 months. I would say probably 20.
Okay. So $100 in leads roughly to close one. And how long does she have to work those suckers? How many hours of work is it to work those 20?
Most times she's on the phone. Like, she'll engage with the lead some and back and forth a little bit, but mostly our VA's doing that. Mostly automation's doing that. So most of her time is just spent on the phone talking to people.
But how much time?
How many is she talking to close one though?
If she's talking to them on the phone, much less. I would say you're looking at, if she gets them on the phone, dude, it's going to be a close if they're qualified. The key is getting them from that chat sequence in Messenger.
So 400, she's closing, call it 1 or 2 a day. Call it 2 a day if she's doing it 5 days a week.
That's about where she's at.
She's getting 10 leads a day. Plus, I assume her circle and referrals and things like that also. How many of those would it take to close if I worked for you as an LOA to make what she makes? Like 2 to 1?
Yeah, if you can get to 1 or 2 a day, you're going to make a great income here.
Meaning, if how much would it take for your company though? How many would I have to close as an LOA for you to make the same thing if y'all sell it direct? Like if Grace makes a sale, she makes $600
twice, because we run a 50-50 model, right? 2 to 1.
Cool. So why are you not scaling the shit out of your LOA side?
That's it's not that I'm
meaning if she reduced a little bit, higher quality lead, maybe not, whatever. Perry's the lead guy, so I'm a big fan of give me high quality, take the shit off the top from me, and then take the other stuff and give them to agents who don't have the money to buy the high quality lead.
Yep.
Does that make sense? And they're working the snot out of it. So when I was selling at a high level, I was quote unquote overpaying for leads relative to most people's thought process. I'm booking the easy appointments, taking the easy sales because I damn earned it because I sold my face off on the lower intent stuff for the first few years. I make the easier sales for sure. I mean, you call enough high intent leads, you can tell which ones are lay downs and which ones aren't.
Absolutely.
It's not that deep, right? So I'm taking that, but then all the other stuff, there's plenty of meat on the bone. I'm giving that to the people who I need to teach how to work phones and teach sales and teach communication and teach, you know what I'm saying? But that's free training.
Yeah.
Free leads training wise for that, you know? Yeah. And, you know, there's some people who would run a zillion appointments a week and sell X. I'm like, what if I just had a little bit higher quality, had a easier time with the agents, maybe didn't sit as many people, closed a way higher percentage, way more of my stuff stayed on the books. And that left me time to spend training agents because all I got to do is get 2 selling and I don't have to do any work and make the same money. Bro, I ain't trying to do that selling thing long for me.
Yeah. No, I'm with you.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm going, can I scale back a little, 75% instead of 100%, and take that 25% of time? And she should be training I don't think it'd be very difficult for y'all to find a bunch of Hispanic or dual speaking, bilingual, whatever you say, agents. Duolingo is the app, to be clear. Dual is what I was trying to say. To find a bunch of agents that are looking for someone that can train them to the skill set she has. There's a gold mine of agents. I think y'all have unlimited agent base that you're not tapping into, and you're wasting your time, in my opinion, messing around with low intent leads and fixing the chat bot when I'm like, yo, give me high intent leads. F all the other stuff. Let me get a bunch of leads so she can make quicker money and then spend time training agents. She trains 4 agents. Y'all double your income.
Yeah.
With 4. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And no work on her part. Not that she shouldn't work or won't work, but I'm just saying the math says all she's got to do is train 4 and your income goes up double. And she has all the time in the world to do whatever she wants. Either sell more, train more, combination of both.
Agreed.
You know, and if you figure out a few of those, scaling is easy from there because you teach 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 to make some sales. How hard would it be to get her on video going like in Spanish, hey, I just hired so-and-so. Look what I've been able to help her do within a few weeks with our high intent leads, yada, yada, yada. Dude, you'd be having people beat down your door to work for you guys.
Likely. I will say that is the goal for first quarter next year.
I would make it the goal for first week of October this year.
One of the
I just see a gold mine, dude. I want to go learn Spanish by the end of the year and do it myself.
Yeah. There are a couple of issues with recruiting Medicare in fourth quarter. It takes about 4 to 6 weeks.
That stuff. Yep.
And I'm not trying to make excuses. I'm just trying to be very frank.
I don't understand that. It takes about
6 weeks to get an agent from 0 to ready to sell in the Medicare space. Yeah. So by the time anybody gets ready, AEP's over at this point.
Yeah, got it. But they can sell other stuff all year.
They could. There are other products they can sell all year round. Yeah. So if I brought in an LOA now, for example,
to get an agent started too.
While they're going through that RTS process, there's a couple of products I could get them up and running in about a week or 2, assuming they already have their license. So I could have them come in and start cross-selling immediately.
Yeah.
While their Medicare stuff is getting up and running. But I put recruiting on my agenda for first quarter because I want to do a massive recruiting effort. One of my shortcomings is LOA recruiting. I can recruit at a wholesale level with my eyes closed.
Yeah.
Like I'm phenomenal at that. I can build a great distribution there. But LOA is where I fall a little bit short because I've never built an LOA shop in insurance. I know a bunch of people that have. I see some of the models that they've done over the years. And so I've taken a lot of the info and I'm trying to implement it here. But yes, recruiting is definitely very, very high on our priority list.
How long does it take for her to like close an app? If she sits with a client, if I'm buying from her, how long is that? What's that process?
Say half an hour.
So she can do 2 an hour. So $1,200 an hour she can make.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be spending $4 on any lead for her. Meaning every hour she spends working leads, she's wasting $1,200.
Okay. Can you show me where I can get higher intent leads in the Spanish market?
That's a Perry. Yeah, I don't do that work. The way I do leads, I find someone who's genius at them and I pay the snot out of them to create as many as I can handle.
Been looking for those people, and I keep running into shills and bullshit. I have bought leads from every fucking vendor I can try to find to test them out, figure it out. Like we started with direct mail. Direct mail worked good for a little bit.
That's why I think her and Perry connect.
Immediately went to shit.
Her personality is there where she can generate. I just see her doing what Perry does on social.
Correct.
Just saying it in Spanish. I don't. Correct. Again, that's the
goal. The goal is that's 100% the goal, right? The goal is for her to be basically the brand ambassador
of the
business.
Which will make it easy to recruit too.
Correct.
And are you doing Spanish Obamacare?
We don't market it. We'll write it when we find people in Medicare or that don't qualify for Medicare.
Yeah, and then think about all the other products you do know.
I see your eyes. I don't market it for a reason, and it's because I would be diluting our Medicare funnel at the moment, in my opinion.
Yeah, we're playing LOA.
Right. And not to mention, I'm going to have to take time training everybody to get them to better understand ACA Obamacare. And all I'm going to do is dilute my main cheddar prize.
Sure.
Right. What I love about Medicare is I can make $700 an app first year, which is a huge rip. I can make $25 first month.
How many people
on the other product?
How many people?
Yeah, I'd be looking at the Medicare. What kind of money is there in the stuff you sell the rest of the year?
I sell Medicare all year round. That's all we do.
Got it. Oh, I thought so AEP is just, I don't know how it's different. I can never figure that out.
AEP is just the enrollment period for anybody that has a Medicare plan. They're like, I don't like it. I want to change.
Got it. But new people you can sell all year long.
Yeah, we launched the business marketing to AEP to go scoop up a bunch of business early.
Gotcha.
Now that's more of a pain in the ass. So we focus on T65 every month. So we have a constant flow of people that are brand new to Medicare, turning 65. And that's good in multiple reasons. They're more loyal when you educate them through that process. Also, you get double sugar that first year payment. So instead of earning $300 per app in AEP, we're earning $600 or more per app by going after T65s. So
y'all generate a good amount of leads
first year
through those events you did?
Fair enough to make them profitable.
Meaning, can you teach other people to do that?
Yeah, teach them. Yeah, it's not hard. It's just, again,
so imagine you could be a Medicare shop in a box.
Correct.
And you find other people that are willing to put in the work, and you go, hey, rent a bus and buy a TV and give it away and do all the things you do. You know what I'm saying? Again, if you put out enough content, or hell, even pay for the ads for recruiting for the time being, you can have a line of people that would love to do 700 apps a year by them, or even 400 by themselves as an individual. So everything I look at, Tony, is like, what can I duplicate? If I can't duplicate it, I don't even want to do it. And the only reason I do it for a little while is solely so I can teach it, because I don't want to do it long.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I sold the snot out of life insurance for a really small window. If you look at my cumulative, it's not that impressive. You know what I mean? But I'm most impressed by that and how quick I got into that life insurance sales and how quick I got out. I don't need the lifetime sales award of the year guy. I don't give a rip, dude. You know, so every I can't help, everything I touch is solely with the intent of teaching it to enough people that I can stop doing it as soon as possible and move on to the next thing I can learn that I can then teach them how to get to that next level.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, wherever she's at, how many people can you teach that to so they can get to where she's at, which a lot of people would love. Y'all live a good life. You know what I mean? We've talked money before, and I'm like, most people would love to make that. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, can you teach 4, 5, 6, 8, 10 people to get there? And then what's the next level? Duplicate that with someone else. Find someone else that wants to teach 4, 6, 8, 10 people. And now you got a leg of that. Mm-hmm. Incentivize them, pay them a little bit more comp. You know, the structure just has to be there. Mm-hmm. And then you get 3 or 4 people that build 10. Dude, now you got 50 overnight selling Medicare, and you're making a rip on all of it.
Yep.
Even if they're making 50%, you're making 10 or 20 on the group. You know what I'm saying? Whatever the numbers might be. I don't know how the structure works with comp levels and that, but I think you get the concept.
Yep. Where would you start when it comes to finding the LOA guys? Like, if you're looking for a bilingual guy, doesn't necessarily have to have his license, because that may bring bad habits. But I love people that have their license in some cases.
Yeah, it's not always
if they're
the best
fresh.
thing.
If they're like, it's not always the best thing though. So,
yeah,
but where would you look?
Indeed.
Would you look at Indeed? Would you look?
Yeah, I would have a mix. So I'm a big fan of I like a mix of everything. Any lead type, I'm like, give me multiple Give me multiple ways to recruit. So
Yep.
I think I'd definitely be on whatever job board and all job boards. I'd do them all because they all suck but they're all needed. They'll all get you people. But if you do a really good job in your funnel of going, here's who I'm looking for, here's what I want, here's what I don't want. And in your recruiting, you cut people out that you don't want as fast as possible.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Same concept. Show them a video. If you meet these steps, click here for a one-on-one. I wouldn't do one-on-one with anyone that isn't pre-qualified to some level.
Yep.
And the first 3 minutes of the phone call is like, yo, do you understand A, B, and C? Whatever it is y'all want. And I would do that on multiple platforms, and I would be wearing out. So, dude, you're so connected. I'd be wearing out social media with her. That we're hiring. I can train Spanish agents to build a Medicare shop. Connect with me. I can help you do 400 apps a year. I can, whatever y'all want to say, that would be ideal for someone else to want to achieve. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. My deal was I can teach any life insurance agent to make 250 grand first year all day long, all day. And the ones that are good mess up and make double or triple that. But I don't have to even promote that. To make 100 grand in life sales is like, I can teach Mavericks to do it next week. So it's like whatever your thing is that helps people go from where they're at now to that next level. Mm-hmm. And then I'm the same where I want, like, and I don't know how Perry worded it, but like the fancy way he said he'd rather have a few really good people than a bunch of really shitty ones. Like y'all talked about that. What I found for me is where I find the handful of great ones is from the hundreds of mediocre ones. You know what I'm saying? And if I'm only looking for great ones, and I won't take them on if they aren't great, dude, it's going to be really hard to grow.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I'll take them on, I'll teach them. And if they aren't willing to keep moving up the ladder, they aren't for me long-term, but I can place them. I can move them. I can help get someone else, teach someone else to train them. You know what I mean? And that's where you get like a Twardowski, who y'all had on yesterday.
Yeah.
Dude, he came from a group. I had no idea that was going to turn into what he is. He was just one of like a zillion ZipRecruiter ads we had out for the agency. And it was someone else that ran it that was duplicating the system I had in place. She was just doing exactly what I put in place. He just happened to apply to hers and not mine. I ran into him and he was different than the crowd. And I went, yo, come here. Hey, if I can help, let me know. We started talking and he kept wanting to get further and further in the business and life. So we kept talking. And then I literally just taught Zach and again, I always say, it's not like he learned from others too, but I just taught what I did. Yo, when I met him, we had maybe 50 agents. And I'm like, yo, here's how I got to 10. Here's how I got to 20. Here's how I got to 30. And I got to 50 by teaching 5 other people to have 10. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So he just duplicated what I did. And that's how, and now he's, doing $5 million a month in production. It's about a third or so of what we do, but and so he's one dude, I got 4 of those, but those 4 came from hundreds of the others. And then with time, we consolidated it, because you only got so much time in the day.
Yeah.
So I look at it as like a farm system. So you got to kind of build your farm system first. And then from that, you'll find your starters to play in the majors.
Okay.
But you got to start somewhere, dude. And there's no perfect answer. There's no magical resource for recruits. You just got to do a lot of it and talk to a lot of people. And again, have your threshold on who you're willing to hire and who you're not.
Understanding that recruiting campaigns are just like anything else. It's a sales campaign, right? Mm-hmm. What type of, what's the word I'm looking for? What is a good metric, in your opinion, on my expense per recruit?
Dude, I'll be honest. I don't
know what my
look
cost
at it
per
that way.
acquisition is on a client, but what's like a good CPA for recruiting?
Here's how I look at it.
At an LOA level.
Me and Zach talked about this the other day. Let's say just for crap, like when I was newer to recruiting, brand new to recruiting, I put $1,000 a month into a ZipRecruiter ad, right? And at the time, that was really cheap relative to what they cost today. I'd get like 300 monthly ads then. Now it's probably 5Gs or whatever the number is. But I'm like, let's just pretend it is 5Gs today. I put 5Gs into ZipRecruiter, right? And I don't hire anyone for 12 months. And then one day Zach shows up. And he writes 50 grand a month. And I'm getting 10 points on it. That one person now pays for the entire ad spend for the rest of the time.
Fair enough.
So I don't look at what it costs per agent, per recruit. I don't care at all. I go like, dude, again, think $600 you're making an app. Maybe you're making 300 on an override. So if they do 10 apps a month, it's $3 grand. So you need one person to cover $3,000 in expense for the rest of the time. So I don't give a rip how much I spend to find that one. You know what I'm saying? I just don't care.
100%.
Because then forever on, it's free. I can, as much money as I spend in marketing now, right? It's free because we paid for it years ago in overrides. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know my per agent cost because I don't look at it that way.
Sure.
I go, I'm going to dive in, and this little bit covers the whole thing forever. And that allows me to just keep spending more.
Are you writing your own recruiting ads, or does like ZipRecruiter or Indeed, do they figure all that out for you?
Dude, if you saw my recruiting ads, you'd be like, those are really stupid. I'm like, yeah, I know. They really are. They're
Doesn't matter if it works.
People don't, in my experience, people rarely read them.
They don't even read them. You know what? The thing that works best for me.
I want a job. I hate the job I have.
The thing that works best for me is the video I make telling them who I am and what I'm looking for. So I just get the masses, and the only ones that John Wetmore talked to were the ones that watched the video, said they watched the video per se, clicked on the link and scheduled a one-on-one on my calendar. And the very first thing I'd be like, yo, Tony, what's up, man? This is John calling you back about the life insurance position you applied for. Is now still a good time? Yes. Hey, man, before we get started, hey, dude, I want to make sure you got a chance to watch the video we sent you. No, I didn't watch it. All right, dude, have a good day. Yeah, I watched it. Cool. What are your 3 biggest takeaways from the video that make you feel like you'd be a good fit for me? And if I don't think they watched it, I'm out.
And what are you putting in the video specifically?
My preference. Like, again, who we are and what we're looking for. Yeah, just again, what we do for a living, right? So I'm explaining our structure, our comp. For me, it was 1099, commission only, leads. That's kind of what you need to be willing to do in my world. I'm sure it's really similar in yours, but those
Zach
are the big.
Talked about that yesterday. Same concept. Like he's sending the video.
Like we do verbatim the same thing, and now we just do it together. But it's like those are the hot points. People, when you start doing an interview, right? 1099 scares them, commission only scares them, buying leads scares them. So I'm touching those. Those are the first 3 things I'm talking about in the video. Again, here's who we are. Here's how it works. I give a little background on myself. It's like a 4-minute video.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Here's who I am. Here's how I got started in the business. Here's how it works. Overrides, blah, blah, blah. You can watch. I'll send it to you. It's not good, but it works.
Yeah.
You know? And
content, not the
correct. And all I'm trying to do is see if the person follows directions, dude.
Right.
If they're paying attention, if they're really looking for something, if I'm just one of 700 clicks that day when they're not really paying attention, I want to know that this is a fit and that they're a fit for me, most importantly. And if they don't understand 1099 commission only and leads, dude, I have no interest in talking to them.
Correct.
And I just know I can get unlimited people. I can get unlimited recruiting leads. So why do I need to, why can't I be picky? You know what I mean? So I'm just blasting through them. And then from there, I'm trying to see if they're a good fit. I just figure out where they're at in life. You know what I mean? Can they do this full-time, part-time? Do they got the money to do it? What's their schedule like? Why life insurance? I'm confused on why the hell you're applying. Can you explain it to me? Because you got to be batshit crazy to do this. So I want to work with someone who understands that. And then I get into, are you willing to do the stuff, the work? Hey, Tony, man, have you ever worked leads? Most say no. I'm like, hey, let me ask you a question, dude. Leads are leads. Like they do fill something out saying that's clear on what the intent is. However, it is still sales and they are still leads and they still may not like you. So let me ask you a question, dude. If you call the first 30 people and every one of them tells you to F off and hangs up on you, how are you going to handle that? And I see what they say. If they're like, wait, what? Huh? What? And they start wetting themselves, dude, I'm out. If they say something along the lines of training or asking questions or something, I'm like, that might be my guy. I don't know. He gets to go to the next question.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And these are just things I learned from interviewing so many people that after I hired a bunch that I found out things that frustrated me about them and mostly things I missed. You know, you do enough interviews and you miss in the life insurance sales, especially when I started doing it in the field. You know how many times I've missed that they didn't have a car or a printer? They have to go to the library every Tuesday to print and they take the bus. And I'm like, yo, how did I miss that on the interview? Like, right. I must really suck. So I started finding all the things that I disliked about the agents I was hiring, and I started implementing that in my interview.
Makes
you know
sense.
what I'm saying? So my interview style is a culmination of all the things that frustrated me after people got hired and they didn't work out for whatever reason. So mine is molded. I can do it off the rip because It's I'm weeding out my annoyances. The difference, Tony, for me and most is when most people are interviewing, they're trying to find someone to hire. I'm trying to find a reason to get off the phone with them as fast as possible.
Right.
I'm literally hunting for that reason.
Yep.
You know, the first time Steph heard me interview, she goes, dude, you sound like you're interrogating them. I'm like, I am. Because I don't want to waste my time. I just want to move through. You know what I'm saying? And I'm willing to spend the time, money, energy, effort training them to make multiple six figures. I need to find out as quick as possible if this is someone I want to talk to every day.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then again, that's really easy to teach. So I do it for a little while. We get some started and I'm like, hey, Tony, you have interest in recruiting. Sounds like, here's how you do it. And I work with you on recruiting. You know what I'm saying? And I don't have to do it to the level I once did because we have hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people doing it every day now. You know?
Guys, this is fun. I got to get to work. This was a great one. That was fun, man. Thanks, Donnie.
Cool. Yeah. Thank you all, man.
Thank you. I got lots of notes from both of you. I appreciate it. And if you want me to go through, help you go through that script, I would love
chat
that.
bot.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Yeah. As
And
soon as he polishes it,
that other
we'll do
stuff.
a private call and I'll walk you through it.
Okay, T. Love you guys. I appreciate you.
Y'all be good.
What a
Thank
great
y'all.
day. Bye.
Yes. Later.